Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I last did a video. If you follow me on social media, you probably already know why. My brother-in-law, Eric, who is on a lung transplant list for 8 or 9 months, finally got called and received his double lung transplant. So I flew out to Nashville to be one of his caretakers, and the surgery was a complete success. So praise God for that. Thank you for your prayers and keep them coming because it is a long road to recovery, but so far he's doing great and we're very, very thankful. So next up in the wonderful world of Laura Alice was Hurricane Florence, which is why I'm wearing my Emerald City, North Carolina shirt today to show my support. My family is not from Emerald Isle, but this is the only North Carolina shirt that I have, and it was from a trip that I took with my friend. Hurricane Florence came and did a number on my mother and grandmother's house. The entire first floor flooded. I wanted to come down here and make this video because I don't believe in just showing the fantastic things that are going on in life, because that's just not realistic. I wanted to show you everything that's going on in life because it's messy, you guys. It is a tough life sometimes, but I'm so thankful for a God and a Savior that loves me and that holds my hand through all of this and is with my family through all of this. And it definitely doesn't make those things go away, but it makes all of those things a whole lot easier to deal with. So the intention of this video is just to kind of show you the real, try saying that 5 times fast, versus the highlight reel, which is just all of the amazing things that happen or pretty pictures, and I love sharing that stuff with you guys, but it's also important to see the other side of it as well. So today I wanted to show you what my real looks like and talk to you about something that I struggle with, because I've heard a lot, and I hear it consistently actually. Exercise and eating right and getting to the gym, all that stuff is easy for you. It is a struggle for me to work out and to stay active. And the reason being is I have a heart condition. I want to make it clear that this is not a complaint video. This video is just to show you that the people that you see on social media that do post those pretty pictures or that always seem to have it together aren't always together. You guys need to see the real me, what really goes on behind the scenes, and hopefully it'll encourage someone that kind of goes through the same thing or has another struggle. So back in 2014, I worked at a blood donation center. I decided after work that I was gonna go donate and then go home for the rest of the day. And when I went to go donate, I had somehow triggered something in my body that started a heart condition. I want to make it clear that not everyone that donates blood is going to have a heart condition. This is something that would have come out if I were to get pregnant. It's kind of like the reverse. A lot of women kind of experience this somewhat or on some scale when they are pregnant, but because I was not already, I triggered it early. But after I donated that blood, it was very difficult to sit up without passing out. Brian had to come pick me up. He left work early to come get me, took me home with some smelling salts or whatever it is that they crack, ammonia that they crack open to keep you awake. And it took me about 7 hours before I could sit up without passing out again. So that was before we knew anything was really going on. They had said maybe I had a low blood inventory or something like that. It had been a while since I had donated and I was due, so I know I was okay to donate again. However, this time for some reason just kind of set it off. We were working out and I became really nauseous, and I'm not talking about the, you put your all into it and then your stomach is just like turning and you feel nauseous. Like, no, I mean, I felt like stomach flu nauseous, like it just enveloped my whole body. Brian had said, they say that if you have that sort of reaction to working out, that you should get your heart checked. My father actually passed away not too long ago, not too many years ago, from a heart attack, and things like heart attack and stroke run on both sides of my family. So that was a red flag for me. And I hate to say this, but I'm one of those people that hates just going to the doctor because they feel like something might be wrong. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, check me out because I'm sure something's going on. I'm sure they get plenty of people in their day that actually need help, and I wasn't sure. But I ended up going after I started feeling palpitations, and that's when I thought, okay, something must really be wrong. So I went and I got an EKG. When they did my EKG, they put me in a room by myself. When they came back in, she said, did you take one of the nodes off? Or did one fall off? And I said, no. She said, huh. It says you flatlined for a little bit. I mean, it like stalled for a little bit, but then it kicked back in and her eyes just got huge. So they sent me out to a cardiologist immediately, and they did the tilt test on me and a stress test on me, and none of that stuff really showed anything. So I wore a heart monitor for about a month, and that was really scary because I was experiencing all these symptoms and there was nothing that they could do about it until they knew what was going on, and they needed that much research to be able to form a diagnosis. So when you wear a heart monitor for that long, you get a printout that looks like this. When the printout finally came in, then you have awesome things that look like this, this, and this. And this one's my personal favorite, this. After all that data was collected, my cardiologist came up with the diagnosis of neurocardiogenic syncope. And there are a ton of different syncopes out there. And when you do your research on it, it seems like there are different symptoms and different actual occurrences for different people. It's a lot of difference. I need new verbiage. So the way that he explained it to me is this: the electrical charge that goes into your heart to tell it to beat sometimes hesitates to find a way in to make it beat, and that's when my heart stalls. And then there are other times when the electrical node will go into my heart and have a hard time getting back out, and that's when it just keeps cycling and circulating to the point where it feels like I'm running a marathon without any of the benefits, which is not fun. I could be at a heart rate of 70 and just skyrocket to 160 just sitting on a couch. So I was experiencing forms of tachycardia, PVCs, racing heartbeats, and then a lot of really slow heartbeats to the point where it felt like I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't catch a breath, and that was just walking around in our apartment. I can remember one morning when I was getting dressed to go to work, I had to lay down because I just overwhelmingly felt just instantly sluggish. And I just went, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just not, like I can't even hardly breathe. My body went into this just shock because my heart had slowed down so much. So it started pulling blood away from my extremities and going into my organs, which is what your body naturally does to keep you functioning and healthy and alive in a shock type scenario. My hands cramped up like this. I couldn't move my fingers. Same happened with my toes. I could barely even speak. So Brian started to feel on me and he could hardly even find a pulse. So he thought that I had had a stroke, went to the ER. Turns out it was something called a vasovagal effect. So all of that to say that I am on a medication now. However, it's also a blood pressure medication, which makes your blood pressure lower. I naturally have a low blood pressure. So when the two combine, it's a lot of fun. In order to counteract the medication that I'm on, I have to eat as much salt as I can in a day to raise my blood pressure, which is kind of a crazy diet to be on, but I love salty foods over sweet foods. When we were leaving the cardiologist office, he stopped me in the hallway and he said, go by the grocery store on the way home and get whatever you can in the frozen food section, that when you turn the box around and you go, whoa, that's a ton of sodium, he said, buy it and eat it immediately. So if you saw my video of what we typically eat in a day, you saw a lot of salt, and that is why. So regardless of how well this medication works and how blessed I am not to have something far more serious, that is where Sai comes into play. And I know you guys have seen him in other videos. I can very proudly say that he is a service dog, and he was a pet before I was diagnosed with this issue. We moved to San Diego a few years ago. I found a wonderful company called Golden State Service Dogs, and the owner, Michelle, helped me train my dog for my needs. He has been absolutely wonderful. This is actually his formal vest shot. Oh, he's so cute. And this is the type of thing that he does for me.
Hey, Bubba, go bring me my bag. Good, bring it. Come.
So in my bag, I have a blood pressure cuff, salt tablet, anti-nausea medication that sometimes goes hand in hand with that. And I also have ammonia vials to crack open. But not only does he do that, but if I already pass out, which sometimes it just happens, there's no rhyme or reason. It's not because I didn't have enough salt or drink enough water. I do have to be super careful at the gym. I don't take Sai to the gym with me because he is a smaller working animal, and a lot of people with heavy weights do not see smaller things on the floor, and I'm scared to death that someone is gonna drop something on his head. So that's part of the reason why I'm so excited to have a home gym now, because he can be out there with me and I know he's there and I know where he is at all times. I make him place over in a corner and he can just watch me. If I do pass out and end up on the floor, he can actually lay down on top of me so that when I come to, I'm not panicked, because if you have ever passed out before, you instantly don't know what happens when you come back. You're just kind of on the floor. He does so much for me, and if you are in the San Diego area, contact Michelle and I will link their information down in the description box below, because she is phenomenal and the help that he provides me is just unbelievable. She did not pay me to say this. She doesn't even know I'm making this video right now. So I just wanted to tell you guys this because exercising is not easy for me. I have to watch my blood pressure. That's why I'm always wearing my Fitbit when I work out, because it tells me what my heart rate is doing. I've definitely seen an improvement since I have been regularly active and consistent in my workouts and my, I don't want to say diet because it's not a diet, it's just the way that I eat. It's healthy eating. I've definitely seen a difference in my health since then. And I'm not saying that if you have a physical limitation that you should just go out there and do it anyway. This was definitely approved by my cardiologist. Exercise is okay for me so long as I pay attention to my signs and symptoms. If it's a health struggle that you're dealing with, definitely speak to your physician and get the okay to do that. I know with all of my clients, they have to answer questionnaires and I have to know that they have been okayed by a doctor if they have any sort of physical condition. But I do want you to know that all these pictures you see of me either at the gym or working out or anything like that doesn't mean that I'm just out there and it's just willy-nilly for me. What am I, 100 years old? It's just not something that comes naturally for me because my body kind of fights it when I do it. But that's not enough for me to stop. And I want to keep going because I know what the health risks are in my family, and it's something important that I need to do to make sure that I am around for my husband long term, for my family long term, and for Sai. So here he is. Hi, Bear. Can I have some kisses? Oh, he's just the sweetest doggy ever. Oh, how could you not love this little guy? He's not that little. I'm a little obsessed. I'm one of those dog moms, you know, that would wear a shirt that says dog mom. So anyway, that's my reel. If you experience something similar, I'd love to hear from you. There's so many different types of syncope out there and each one is so different, and I would love to connect with you and kind of talk about what you're going through and how it either relates or differs from what I have. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.